morning! It is time for lesson 7.11. Today we're going to be talking about fractions in number stories. So making sense of fractions when they're part of a larger word problem. So to warm up today, Ernie is going to tell you what you need. Well guys, you need a pencil, you need a piece of paper, and you also need a ruler. A ruler today. A ruler. Okay guys, pause the video and go get all the supplies that you need for this warm-up. Okay, now that you have your supplies, we're going to do a word problem together that requires some setup. The first thing you're going to do is, will you tell me, Ernie? Yes. You are going to take your ruler and you are going to make a line that is 2.5 inches long. So the way that you do that is you make a dot on your piece of paper or your whiteboard if you have one, and you line it up with 0. And then you find 2.5. It's the mark between 2 and 3, and you make another dot. And then you connect the dots using your ruler to help you make it look straight. So it should look like this. Great. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to divide this line segment into its 1/2 inch parts. So you're going to count by 1/2. So again, with your ruler, starting at 0, you're going to count 1/2, make a line. 2 halves, make a line. 3 halves, make a line. 4 halves, which is at the 2, make a line. And 5 halves is at the end. Whoops. Okay, so now you have your line divided into its half parts. How many 1/2 inches do you have? Write that below the line. If you said 5, you are correct. If you didn't, go ahead and change it. I have 5 1/2 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I could ask you to do it like this, but I could also make it part of a number story. For example, Caitlin has beads that she's trying to make into a bracelet. Her beads are 1/2 inch long. She has 1.5 inches. Ooh, let me start over. Blah. Okay, Caitlin has 2 beads that are 1/2 inch each. When she lines them up end to end, they equal 2.5 inches long, just like this line segment. How many beads does she have? So you could draw a picture. 1/2, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5. How many beads does Caitlin have? She has 5. Great. I can add on to this number story. Right now, her bracelet measures 2.5 inches. But what if she wants a bracelet that measures 6.5 inches instead? Well, the question is, how many more beads would she need? I want you to try to figure out, how would you set this up? How would you figure out how many more beads Caitlin needs to make her bracelet not 2.5 inches, but 6.5 inches? Ernie and I are just going to wait a minute while you try to figure it out. All right, so let's start to take this apart. The first thing you should do is you should figure out, how many more inches does she need? Well, the difference between 6.5 and 2.5 is 4 inches. Therefore, she needs 4 more inches of beads. Well, if her beads are each 1/2 inch, you have to think about how many 1/2 inches are in 4 inches. I can use my ruler and count by halves. I have 1/2. If I want to see how many 1/2 inches are in 4 inches, I would go 1/2, 2 halves, 3 halves, 4 halves, 5 halves, 6 halves, 7 halves, 8 halves. There are 8 halves in 4 inches. Therefore, she needs 8 more beads. The last question I could ask is, how many beads does she need in all to have a bracelet of 6.5 inches? What do you think? How many does she need in all? Well, To figure out how many she used in all, you would have to add in how many she had and then add it on. So 5 plus 8 equals 13. It would take 13 beads in all to make a bracelet that is 6.5 inches. So today's lesson is all about fractions and number stories. You are going to need your math journal. You're definitely going to need a pencil, and you might want your fraction tools. That might mean you need your ConnectEd fraction circles. You might want to use your poster on page 229 that you created, and you might want your fraction strips that you cut out yesterday from your packet. All right, see you in a minute.